What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We have an amazing guest today. This guy was making me laugh off camera. Crazy. Today I had a long day at work. I'm not gonna even say our intro because he just came back with he just made me. I can't even swear at the moment because I want to keep it PG for me. We have Bilal Sharmoug. He's a Palestinian American comedian, actor based in Los Angeles. Welcome, my brother. How are you, guys? I'm
Assalamu
telling you.
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum to everybody. What's good? I just
Alhamdulillah.
want to tell everybody, this guy made me laugh. Like from the get-go came in and made me laugh. I was crying. I made one joke off camera, and I don't want to say it, but I was crying.
I
Welcome
like
to the
you
podcast.
already. I like
I
you
like
already,
you,
brother.
bro.
We
I like
we've
you,
never
bro.
met. We've never contacted before.
No, never. We never.
This is our first. This is our first blood. Shout out Rocky, and or Rambo. And where are you from in Palestine? Can I just ask you just before
Yeah,
we
of
get
course.
the?
Yeah. My dad's from Tulkarem,
Oh wow,
and my mom is from
damn,
Ramle. Where were you from?
there's the one.
That's amazing, bro. I don't think I've ever met anybody from that, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're all in America, not Canada. I don't know
Or,
any
man,
Dwayne
Canada
from
has so many
Canada,
jokes.
brother. That's just Canadians in general. No smoke. No smoke. No smoke.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I would love to move to the U.S. To be honest with you, don't want to be
Come
in this.
down, dude. Come down, bro. Bring me some
I
maple
told
syrup. You
listen,
got a place to stay. I'm so
me,
sorry, bro. That's racist. I shouldn't even
I don't even
say
like
that.
maple syrup to begin with. That's jokes. Maple syrup is horrible. To all the Canadians out there, don't blame me, but
Hey,
it's true.
I used to have a Canadian teammate. I played football in college. I used to have a Canadian teammate, and he would every
Oh,
time he'd
really?
get mad, he would be like, "I'm so cheesed," and that is my favorite
Is
Canadianism right there, dude.
he from
Cheesed? Are
Toronto?
you? Yeah, he was
Is he from
from
Toronto?
the suburbs or some shit like that.
Yeah, because cheese is the word I also use. Like when you're mad, like yo, bro, I'm cheesed, and it's like a lot of Americans don't get it, but in my opinion, it's funny to say I'm
He was
cheesed.
actually Canadian Native American. It's like a weird. He was from like a res out there. I didn't even know they had Native Americans in Canada. Like what Native Canadians? Like it really blows my mind the more I think about it.
That is Native Canadians.
Yeah, because I because you always hear about the Native Americans. You don't hear about the Native Canadians.
No, you don't. I wonder how the Native Canadians feel about it. It's like, why do the Native Americans get all the
They get all
like
the
media,
love,
but
dude,
we
because
don't?
everybody just imagines the Canadians walked in there and they're like, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to. Oh, we did not, And they're just like, "Hey, do you mind if we hang around?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." That's how I imagine Canada did it, just
Canada?
like,
Have you been to?
yeah.
Have you?
No, and I don't actually know the history of Canada. I'm actually like a little embarrassed right now the more I think about it. Like how like what's their form of like colonization, you know what I mean? Like I look at
To be
Canada, I'm
honest,
like those guys are nice. But there's
honestly
probably
it's
some
funny.
pretty
It depends where you are though. Some cities they're brutal. Like the
really.
Italian Canadians are rude. Like these guys, of course, they talk with their hand gestures, and then depends where you are. Like
Yeah.
there's a city called Brampton. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the cities, but there's a city called Brampton. These guys don't know how to drive. I also say
Yeah.
that because the amount of like fraud insurance that goes down there. But I think it
Oh, I
depends. I
like
think
Brampton.
Canadians are naturally nice. You like that? It's crazy. It affects my insurance, bro. These guys are like these guys are hitting each other's cars and then claiming it was a hit and run. I'm like, what's going on over here?
Wow, creative.
I know. It's like people have not thought of it thought of it before. Oh man. I was gonna ask, brother. Actually, I was reading your profile. You played football before. Like like why did you stop? If you don't mind me asking, because like I was intrigued by it. Also, Arabs aren't really into like football or hockey. I am into football, but it's weird for me like they actually play football.
Yeah, dude, I played football at New Mexico State. Go Aggies. And I stopped playing because it takes a different kind of animal to make it into the NFL, and
Yeah.
that just wasn't me. I wasn't that kind of animal, and I kind of was beat up and over it by the time my senior year rolled around, and just
Was that
just was ready.
that your goals to go to the NFL?
No, I don't think I ever really wanted to go to the NFL because I always like really knew you got to be a different kind of animal. I worked very hard to get to where I was, and I was like, man,
Hmm.
this was very hard. I don't like, and you got to work two times as hard to get to the NFL. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I was ready, and I started falling more and more in love with like just entertaining. I found myself at games. I was the backup center at New Mexico State, so it was like the first time in my life I didn't play much. So I found myself more interested with the fun audience,
Yeah.
making them laugh, than I was in the actual game.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is cool. I really like it.
So that how would you say the transition was awkward between you going from football to comedy? Or did you find it was it always innate for you that you were a funny person and like in life amongst your friends or in school? But how easy was the transition to go from like football straight into comedy?
Yeah, well, I always knew I wanted to do comedy, and I just like, it was just like a thing that I knew I at least wanted to try and see how I did. And I'll just give you the short story, but when I was in my senior year, I was figuring out what I wanted to do. I was telling my parents I was going to go to law school. Sorry, guys. And then I was scrolling through Instagram and I see a buddy of mine in a DoorDash ad. And I'm like, whoa. And for some reason, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world,
Yeah.
And I hit him up and I was like, yo, dude, how'd you do that? And I hadn't talked to this guy in years. And then he was like, well, I joined this acting class, blah, blah, blah. So as soon as I graduated, I joined that acting class. And then, started just really falling in love with like that side of it. And then I, started doing open mics and falling in love with comedy as well. And I was just like, oh, this is all just like really cool. It's like a really cool outlet. And, just things kept progressing. Started booking commercials, making some legit money. And I was like, oh shit, I could do this like for real. So I decided I would. Yeah.
That's incredible, bro. I swear, like it kind of like just to add on to your point, or like not even to your point, but to what you were saying. I feel like for people who want to follow their dreams, it actually can be done. I feel like today I was at work talking to the interns, and they were telling me I was being way too motivational because I have like they know I have a talk show, and I'm like, guys, you can actually do it. Take steps because I feel people always have this. Like I'm not sure about you, but I hate this whole backup plan nonsense. I'm like, your backup plan is never gonna work. I'm like, if your current plan ain't working, your backup plan definitely is not going to work. It's either you go full percent towards that goal, which I think if you are fully, disciplined towards that, it's going to happen. But it also goes back to putting the work and consistently actually working hard to get that.
No, 100%, man. It's a why not me mindset,
Yeah.
Like that guy
Agreed.
can do it. Why can't I do it? What's
I had that
makes
same
him
mindset, I swear.
different?
Agreed, but I think it's the Arab. I think it's the Arabs, man. Like they're like, oh, you have to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'll tell you. I was saying this to someone else today at work. When I was in high school, my physics teacher told me, listen, bro, I don't think you should enter engineering because my physics mark was like a 66. He's like, if you're struggling right now in grade 11, he's like, I trust you're not going to pass in university. I'm like, so he kind of gave me the pat on the shoulder. He's like, yo, go find something else because you're not going to survive engineering. I'm like, and that conversation with my parents, I'm like, yeah, I'm no longer going to become an engineer.
Dude, first of all, that's a beautiful story that you persevered through that. And second of all, just the way you guys are just like right across the border and you guys say school so weird. Grade 11, university. Really? Yeah, dude, you're a junior and you're going to college, brother. Okay? What the hell is grade 11? You making me do math, dog? University?
I actually forgot you guys don't do that.
No,
Oh, that's crazy.
Bro. I love Canada, bro. God bless Canada.
Bro.
Viva Canada. Viva Trudeau, right? He's good. We like him. I don't know.
No,
Is he there
no.
anymore?
He's not there no more. He's dating Katy Perry. Oh my goodness. Hey, man, Trudeau ruined the country, bro. This guy, like, screwed us over and then is on with a celebrity getting whatever he wants.
You know what, though? That guy, he did do brown face, which was kind of funny.
It,
Which, if you look at the picture, is hilarious. But fuck that guy, dude. We don't like him.
But it's funny, too, because it happened around the time that the elections were happening, and yet he still won. I'm like, so clearly, whatever someone was trying to, like, go against him, the blackface, the brownface incident did not work at all.
You know my favorite Canadian of all time?
Drake?
That
I actually met him in person before he passed away.
No.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Bro.
This is crazy that you actually know about Rob Ford, bro. It's crazy. It's funny because his brother is I guess it's the equivalent to the governor, but his brother is the premier of our province. And Rob Ford was at a Jays game. It's like 2014.
Go again, bro.
Yeah, with these weird terms, I know. Rob Ford was he was the mayor of Toronto, and I remember there was a Jays game, the home opener, and there was like everyone was screaming, "Rob Ford's here, Rob Ford's here." This is around the whole time of like him doing crack and like just like swearing and like going to the like Jamaican restaurants. and like speaking patois. And I remember I'm like, yo, he's here. So me and my friend, my brother went to go take a picture with him.
Yes. Oh, you're my god, bro.
But when I tell you,
That's
like
legendary.
so many seats were gone. Everyone was like talking to him. They're like, I think if I'm not mistaken, they took a commercial break because like they couldn't because everyone's like taking a picture with him. And I remember one woman goes up to me and she's like, "Don't take a picture with him, hon. He's a drunk addict." I'm like, you have alcohol in your hand. What's going on?" I'm like, dude, I just want to take a picture with this legend. That's it. And I lost the
Of
picture too.
course. Of course.
Yeah.
You know, Rob Ford was pro-Palestine.
Was he really? I did not know this actually.
I don't know, but that's a rumor I want to start.
You got me wrong.
I want it to be
You
true so
got-
bad, bro.
Honestly, it might work if you and the comedians, all these Arab comedians, go together and be like, "Yo, Rob Ford was Canadian and was pro-Palestine." I think you'll make heat in Toronto and Canada. Be like, "No way, he's pro-Palestinian."
Yeah, Rob Ford was like Canadian freaking out of fast. He was like really radical.
I was gonna ask you. Like I was gonna ask you, what's your process when you're making your comedies on with videos and on Instagram or like when you're making your reels? Like what's your favorite part? Is it like writing the thought out? Is it filming it? Is it coming up with the characters? What do you enjoy the most?
No, we don't write anything. We
It's
just
all improv.
yeah, no, we just say, okay, here's the idea. Where you're gonna ask for, it's Arab dad at saying I love you or whatever, and then we'll go. We'll get the beats like, oh, that was funny, and then we'll go again. We'll add stuff. We'll subtract stuff. And then we'll go again, and then that's like the way we write it. I guess we do write it because, like, we'll say it out loud, and then we'll keep saying the same thing if it's funny. But yeah, that's the best part is just like living in the moment and then really becoming, trying to just be the character and spewing out what you think you'd spew out. And, with our Arab characters, it's so easy to think while you're talking because you're talking like this and it's like you're thinking how to say in English, but you're really thinking what to say in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That video you mentioned, the I love the Arab father, made me laugh because the part of something you said. You said something, and then Ahmed goes to you, and then you say, "Sorry, that's like my phone. My apologies." Then Ahmed, then you're like, "No, just hypothetical." Do you have something to say? No, this hypothetical. That I just cried laughing. You're behind the dumpster. Next thing you know, you're telling someone you love them, and like you have something to say. No, just hypothetical situation. I cried laughing. Because the reason why I asked you that, because I feel like it's actually like if it's improv, it's crazy because I feel like your acting is so authentic and it's pure. I feel like sometimes I'm talking to a real Arab father. Like I'm watching you guys and I'm reenacting other Arab fathers that I speak to on a daily basis who have no emotions. It's kind of ironic because Arabs are affectionate with how we like show love, but then again, sometimes this whole "I love you" thing with certain Arab dads it doesn't exist. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
and
telling someone else. Yeah, go on.
it's universal too. That's what I found with these videos is that a lot of people who like these videos are like, I'm Nicaraguan, this is how my dad acts, or I'm Italian, this is
Yeah,
how So that's kind of the cool thing. I think it's just like immigrants. I think it's just humans in general are fucked up.
to be fair, like the person I did a talk show with as well, who's unfortunately not here because he's still sick. He's African, and I feel like black people don't show like Africans specifically don't show love at all. So he's like, I don't think I ever told my dad I love you. He never told me I love you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, Arabs have definitely showed some sort of love in some way, but I'm like, you guys are different. I go to their house. I don't think I've ever seen them hug their parents.
Yeah, that's a little,
Maybe.
they're kind of like militant about it. You know what I mean? Just,
Yeah, yeah. It's like, don't let anybody see you we're hugging.
yeah. Yeah. Affection, in Arab, it's like a weird thing. It is a weird thing because we are very affectionate people at the end of the day. We are very affectionate people, but we're very picky and choosy about when we show it.
That is very true, actually. Especially because we can show it when we're angry. Like, for example, like, if your kid does something dumb, like they hit him, like, yeah, but I told you not to do this, and like, I love you, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, you hit me, you slapped me, now you
Yeah.
tell me you love me. I'm confused. A lot of
Yeah.
Arab kids need therapy, I'm telling you, because of all the confusion that we went through. This is why a lot of Arab guys around our age are not married because they don't know what love actually is.
Yeah. I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me. You know what I mean?
I can't show it because I'm Canadian. Canadians don't understand love.
Some of my favorite song lyrics of all time. But yeah, I didn't know that about Canadians. I thought Canadians are full of love, man.
Again, man, like if you ask me, because I'm Arab, I have like a lot of love to give, and I love supporting Arab creators, like just people in general. But some Arab, actually, I'll say this: in my opinion, some Canadians are selfish because I feel like we all are trying to achieve for the same thing. That we're selfish. Like I've said this in the past, where I feel like less content creators in Canada have helped me, but more American content creators have said yes. And they're more willing to help out or when I ask questions. That's like
fucked
my
up.
perspective on it. It is. Then again, but I feel like for me it's like
Name names, specifics. Let's
no, it's
call
just
them
like
out.
people who I
Just kidding.
guys are about to give me some beeps. They're gonna be like, yo, this guy said something. I never knew you felt that way. That's jokes.
That's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh no, mate. Well,
I
you're
don't
making me
get
laugh. I
anybody
feel like
cheesed. I don't want anybody
someone's gonna get
cheesed
cheesed.
at
Like,
me.
is he talking about me?
They're gonna be super cheesed. I
Man.
love that one. That's my favorite one.
Cheese?
Sorry,
Have
I'm
you heard?
derailing this.
No, you're good. You're good. You're
I'm
good.
going off on tangents.
You're good. Before I ask my next question, but because you said the word cheese, is there any other Toronto slang word that you heard that your teammate was saying to you?
Oh, yeah, he would say jokes, like you say.
Yeah, I
It's
say that as
jokes.
well. Yeah, I say that as well.
What would he? What would he say? Man, oh, I forget what it was, but it was a while ago. But he would have a lot of like Canadian slang. He was also a very big conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yes, I have a friend like that. Not me, but I have a friend like that.
He thought the moon was a hologram. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing.
Definitely not Canadian.
He would call people wastemans. I don't know what that is.
Waste man means is like someone who's just like useless. Like if you,
Well,
let's say
like
for example someone is like dumb or stupid to be like that's a waste man.
Yeah, he was big. He is very interesting sage. I think he plays in like the Canadian Football League right now. He's like 6'7".
Oh, the CFL? That's not a football league.
Hey, dude, have some respect, dude, for the fucking Argonauts and shit.
I watch the NFL. That's a real football league.
Yeah, no, dude, CFL, bro. That's where the real players go to play. He was
A lot of Canadians are gonna love you.
like 360 pounds, vegetarian his whole life.
That's unfortunate.
How crazy is that?
But can I be honest with you? Like, there's no way he would survive in an Arab household because there's nothing vegetarian about our food.
I know. Isn't that sad? We can't be vegetarian.
For him to be vegetarian, yeah.
I know. What if I wanted to be a vegetarian?
I would just make dua for you. I'd be like, Ya Allah, like guide him back to eating meat.
There's nothing haram about being a vegetarian, bro.
There's nothing haram, but I'm just saying, like he's not gonna eat mensaf no
nothing
more.
haram, bro.
There's nothing haram, but like you're not gonna eat mensaf. You're not gonna have wara anab. You're not gonna have maqlub.
I could have mensef. I could have what a kind of just no meat.
I guess
Like,
it'll be a transition. No big deal for me. I'm
that's
just saying,
it.
like I can't live it.
I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna become trans. I'm a vegetarian. I'm gonna start my transition. And
Vegetarian?
Yeah, I'm gonna be trans-vegetarian. Yeah.
Listen, they heard you here first. These Canadians are gonna love you now. He's changing. He's being eco-friendly, food-friendly.
I am, bro. I love the environment. I'll just be the only thing I just like. I need to have chicken and like lahma and like.
So you're a part-time vegetarian.
But I'm not gonna eat any pork.
No.
That's wallahi, I swear to God. Wallahi, I'm not gonna eat any pork.
That's wallahi, I'm not gonna eat any pork. That's jokes. Anything else I'll eat. This one I won't eat. I won't touch.
Yeah, but I will become vegetarian. But just
Those jokes. You can tell
those
me.
conditions.
I swear to God, like this podcast, in my head I was kind of nervous doing it, but then I'm like, you came up like that made me laugh. I was gonna ask you, do you feel as a Palestinian American that you have pressure to represent your culture on stage, or do you find it just hard to just focus on being you? Like, do you find because like what's for example going on in Palestine that you have to address it?
I think you do. I mean, I just think Palestinians are unique people to where whether they like it or not, they're born activists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you don't even really get to choose, and like whether that's just like informing your white friends about like, yo, this is what really happened over there, blah blah blah. Like that's just activism, and like we are all activists whether we know it or not because we're just speaking the truth. And so I do find like when I go on stage, if I say I'm Palestinian, I do feel like I got to talk about some of the things a little bit, and only because it's like obviously the day and age we live in. It's like the number one thing people people are talking about on the news still to this day, 2 years after, you know, 2 years after whatever. And so it's like when I'm on stage, it's like, well, I gotta address it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
address being Palestinian and what that means to me and what it should mean to you.
I love how you said that and how it should mean to you. Definitely, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to Palestine, they're always like so hesitant to speak out. And I'm like, you can say your opinion because whether I disagree or agree with you, I'm gonna still educate you on the truth. Because I feel like a lot of them are so scared to speak out because they think Palestinians are gonna get offended. Like we're not gonna get offended. We'll re-educate you and tell you exactly how. Like we're like show you actual proof. But I love how you said that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, you got to re-educate people on what they've been taught and maybe some of the things they've been told that are maybe not factual but like on stage, I mean, that's just like in real life, but like on stage, listen, I'm Palestinian and it's okay that I'm Palestinian. That's what I want people to know. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, when I was doing comedy, you know, October 8th, 2023, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
A lot of people didn't want to hear what I had to say.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah, but now, obviously, you know, it's a little bit more of a popular thing people want to hear, you know?
Yeah, it seems like everybody's talking about it now, or using it in
100%.
their comedy, like to educate. I know, like Ahmed was saying he's done it, and I've had like Sammy Obeid who spoke about it. And I see his videos. And of course, I've seen you speak about it, and I feel like everybody's now speaking about it because I feel like, and I said this to like, I said this before to like other people, other comedians, because I feel like for me personally, I'm not sure if you would agree, but I feel like me personally now, comedy has become the new place of news. Because for example, when you're watching the news, they're always leaving certain stuff out or like they're biased. But I feel like comedians are now able to shape and shift people's perspectives on things because of their following, because of their influence. Like I feel like people like yourself and everybody else have this opportunity to be on stage and be like, I can still make a joke about it, but I'm still gonna shift your perspective because you have this like chant on stage.
Yeah, yeah. There is a lot more of that going on. But at the same time, man, I got into this job because I just want to make people feel good and make people laugh, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, I love comedy so much and I love just like the idea of comedy, you know? And you know, I want people to be able to like laugh at things that they, you know, normally wouldn't want to laugh at, you know? And not like a mean or malicious way or anything like that, but just to be able to like laugh. You know, genuinely laugh.
I guess like it comes to my follow-up question then. How do you respond to people who say comedy is too, like people who are so sensitive, like, oh, this offended me, oh, this is offensive. Like, how do you respond to that as a comic or as a comedian, sorry? How do you respond to those people who are saying, oh, like you're too aggressive with this, I'm a sensitive person, like how would you respond to that?
Yeah, honestly, just if you like, I don't know, if you don't buy tickets to my shows. If you're easily offended, you know what I mean? Like, that's not who I do comedy for. Like, I do comedy for just people who, like, enjoy comedy and think the same things I think are funny. So, you know, I mean, it's just, comedy is like, it's like almost like the last thing we got, man. So, it's like they don't take that away from us, too, you know?
I think so. Like, I think with comedy, and from my opinion, you have to like understand the context to make you laugh. As you said, like I'm here to make people laugh, have a good time. And I feel like a lot of people take things so literally. I'm like, dude, just understand the joke and laugh. Have a sense of humor. I went to, I'm not sure if you know Dave Merhej, but I went to his like comedy show one time, like, cause he was on our podcast before and he invited me and my co-host out. And we went out, and I remember I was just like laughing. I feel like at the end of the day, comedy is like, in my opinion, it's a sense of healing. I'm not trying to sound like a therapist, but to me, it's like a sense of healing. Like someone trying to make you laugh. You buy your ticket, you go, you have fun, you have a good time, understand the joke, and that's it. But I feel like a lot of people, to your point, if you know you're gonna be sensitive, don't buy the ticket because they try to cancel comedians. I'm like, why are you canceling comedians? They're the only people that are trying to make you laugh and have a good time. Everyone else is trying to give you a horrible time. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. I'm not for all that. I really don't think you should try and cancel anybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just, if you don't like them, don't support them. Seems pretty simple, right?
To me, it does. But I think to other people...
I mean, there's different kinds of canceling, like, you know, boycotting something, and that's like what I'm talking about. Don't support it. Boycott it, you know? That's like a good form of cancellation, I guess.
That is very true. Whoever, let's be honest, I'm only gonna cancel people who don't eat meat. That's it. Pause. But it's only people who like. If you eat a vegetarian, I might cancel you if you're a vegetarian because at this point,
I am a
you're missing
vegetarian,
out.
brother. I just told you I'm a newfound trans vegetarian, brother. And
You
I don't
said you transition.
transition, and I don't eat pork. I don't eat.
Good to know. Good to know. I was gonna ask you, who are your when you look at like a goat comedy, like your Matt Rushmore of comedy. Is there anybody you would I don't want to say necessarily steal, but is there anybody you take away from to like to make your comedy better? Or you took away from, or like you learned from that you'd love to study.
Yeah, like guys like Patrice O'Neill, Norton McDonald, and then guys like right now even Tim Dillon, Shane Gillis, very funny guys. Those are the kind of guys that that genuinely make me laugh and that I grew up listening to. The first ever stand up comedy show I went to was Corey Holcomb. I don't know if you know who Corey Holcomb is, Black Jesus.
No.
Just a mate, like one of like a life changing thing. I was like 18 years old, and I was like, oh my god, this is how does he do this in a room? He's like a wizard,
Yeah.
And it was, so yeah, that's kind of comedy I feel.
Yeah. I only know a couple people you named. The rest of them I definitely have to check them out because I've never really heard of them. But I was gonna ask you, what's the biggest misconception people have about Arab or people have about Arab comedians? You would say.
I guess that we're like very clean cut. I'm a Muslim comedian. I'm an Arab. I'm both of those things, but like also a pretty dirty comedian. You know what I mean? Like that's just who I am. And
Yeah.
but I think the misconception is that like we don't go hard in the paint, but we for sure go hard in the paint. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of other Ahmed, Sammy, all those guys. You said those guys go hard in the paint.
I was kind of saying the same thing about certain comedians. He's like they act one way on stage, but like, or they try to have this face, but then again they know them personally, and he's like, that's not you.
Yeah.
Do you think for you when you're creating like when you like I know you were saying earlier you were doing you were like you improvise a lot of your videos, but do you feel like when you're thinking of a joke and you're like trying to write a joke, do you think how do you determine this is better for on stage or this is better for on Instagram or TikTok making your videos? Like how do you determine that in your head or like when you're in your process?
Yeah, I think it's two different things. I think sometimes I think everything I tell on stage, for the most part, is like picked out of a conversation I've had with a friend. You know what I mean? So if like I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm like talking about something that just happened to me today, I'm like, yeah, this thing happened. And this guy came and then he walked away and he's like, oh, thanks for coming. And I'm like, dude, and then I see them laugh. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tell that same exact story on stage. Whereas when I'm thinking for like Instagram and stuff like that, you're kind of thinking a little bit more specific, and
Yep.
you have characters or you're trying to create new characters and you're putting them in scenarios. And I think if the scenario is funny enough, you can make magic happen. It's like that's usually what we're like, okay, here's a scenario, let's make it work. Pardon my French, we receive the play.
Part of my friends, yeah, because I feel like the reason why I asked that, because I remember like I asked like I always find it interesting how I guess for you guys as comedians, because I love comedy myself, and I feel like sometimes when you're writing the joke on stage or like when the whole thought process, and I feel like every comedian I've ever asked, yourself included, has always given me a different unique answer in terms of how they view between what's meant for like social media versus what's meant on stage. Because I've only been to one comedy show, and I feel like and this could lead to my next question about like bombing on stage, because in the person, and I'm not, and I guess also to add on to it, they started doing crowd work, and I know like crowd work amongst other comedians, I'm not, it's like a 50-50 split. But I feel with this person, I feel like the jokes that they were using was like mainly on social media because this person was not getting a response at all. Like I felt bad. Like I felt the awkwardness. Like it was awkward. So how would you like? Have you ever felt that way when you're making the joke and you feel like, oh, it's not doing well? Like, and how do you respond to that? Try to get the crowd back to you when you're on stage.
I'll tell you a story. It was like a couple Christmases ago, and I get a call and somebody's like, yo, I got this Egyptian Christmas party, and I can't do it, but I recommended you. They're Arab, they'll love you. And I'm like, all right. And, they reached out to me. It was like the same day, and I was like, yeah, no, I'll be right there, and I'll make it happen. Now, are you Muslim, by the way? I don't know.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. Okay. Now, I don't know, dude. I just kind of figured. I don't know why that because they recommended me. They know my material. I was like, oh, these are Muslims. So I start doing my material, and I'm like talking about. I'm talking about like Ramadan, and nobody's laughing. And then I'm looking around, I like seeing all the Christmas trees, and I'm seeing the bottles of alcohol, and I'm like, and so I try to like go into another, and I knew I was fucked when I was like, so I'm Palestinian, and nobody clapped. I'm like, oh fuck. And then I was supposed to do like 45 minutes, brother. About 5-10 minutes in, I get a tap on the shoulder from the lady who booked me, and she's like, let's take a break.
She's like, yo, next act. Let's
Yeah,
take a break.
I knew that was coming, and I was like, "What happened? What happened?" And
Oh,
she's like, we're not Muslim. We don't want to hear about Muslim things." And I was like, "Oh, you're not?" She's like, "This is a Christmas party." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I later found out they're Coptic Egyptians who just not only are they not Muslim, they hate Muslims.
I know, yeah. I've met a lot of them because a lot of them live in Canada. Some of them are not the biggest I remember one person specifically, she thought all Muslims were just like terrorists, and I'm like, what's going on with you?
Bro.
She's like,
So
that's who you are. You made me laugh when you started talking about Ramadan. No
I
response.
swear to God, I was like, my favorite part about Ramadan is I was like doing Ramadan jokes. You know what I mean, right, guys? They're like,
Right,
no,
guys, you know
no.
what I mean. But it's
Yeah.
actually interesting because when I talk to like people who are like not Arab, they always think Arabs are always Muslims. I'm like, I hope you know there's Arab Christians out there. Like my coworkers are
Yeah,
so
I was
oblivious.
one of those assholes too. Just,
This
I
guy's
mean, I
like,
knew they existed. I knew they existed, but I was like, not
but
around
that
me.
day you're like, they're all Muslim.
Yeah, that day, I just didn't put two and two together. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Man, you made me laugh because when I talk like one time I remember this guy at my gym was like, bro, I would love to marry an Arab, but I can't. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, of course you can. Like if he's like, nah, because in my head I'm like, I think about Christian Arabs, and he's like, no, I mean they're all Muslim. I'm like, brother, there's some Christian Arabs out there, man. Go find you one. He's like, really? He's like, so I can marry a Christian Arab? I'm like, what are they, a manual?
Yeah.
Like, yes, go talk to their father. It's insane, but
You could
I
marry a
guess you have to.
Muslim one too if she's down bad enough.
I guess she's really wants to escape her household. If she's that damn bad, she's like, I'm not finding no one's giving that right,
Yeah.
no one's giving that right method. I guess she might leave their religion and be like, yo, just pretend to convert and come see me. Man, that's funny.
Shouts out.
I can only imagine. How did you react though? Like, did you take offense to it when you're like getting kicked off stage, or do you just not care?
I was like, are you guys still gonna pay me? That was really what I was worried about. I was like, well, I mean, I kind of came out of
Yeah,
my
like
way
I
to
need to
do
get paid,
this.
bro.
But like, I
Oh,
was like, yo, like you guys hired a guy named Bilal. That's like
yeah,
a Muslim ass name. You know what I mean? You guys
that's
hired a
so
guy
true.
named Bilal to come do comedy at your Christmas party. Who's the real idiot here?
Yeah, actually, that's a smart question. It's like at this point, you weren't even informed about it because if you were informed, you would have catered the jokes.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, if this was a Eid party, it would have crushed. You
Eid
know?
Fitr, brother, you would have had people do
Talk
like
to me,
dapping
brother.
you up.
Talk to me.
Eid Fitr, Eid Fitr party, they'll be like, yo, Bilal, man, that's an amazing joke, bro. They'll be eating their falafel, hummus, whatever. The vegetarians out there
Shouts out.
enjoying their time.
Shouts out. Yeah,
Shout
so
out to the vegetarians.
that was a lesson learned the hard way, but that happens.
But in your like, how long, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing comedy for?
Like 5-6 years.
5, 6 years. So I've like like, has there ever been a moment for you where you're like, man, I want to give up, or has it always been for you like, no, I got this, I'm gonna keep continuing with this, I'm gonna keep continuing with this, like with all the drawbacks, have you ever felt this moment of like, I'm gonna fall back and just stop?
Naturally, it's a tough business, but like I I really try to make small goals and just look at my progression from when I started and like see
Yeah.
where I am compared to where I started, and I'm just like always pushing forward mindset. As long as I'm always trudging ahead and staying hot and just making people laugh. And people are still laughing at my shit, man. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, I gotta say, like when I saw your stuff specifically, and you and Ahmed specifically, you guys made me laugh. And like you're two guys, and I'll say this on the podcast, I'll always support the both of you because I feel like your content is hilarious. Like the things you guys talk about is so relatable. Also, the one thing I like is you guys aren't using recycled material. You guys are so unique with your material. Like, even though it's like real scenarios and like I love watching it. So like, even the one with like the "I love you, Father," I watched it like 3 times, and I couldn't share it. Like my coworkers were asking me, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, "You won't get it because you're just not like you're like you don't understand the like they're a part of it. And also, you're way too white."
Yeah, yeah. I like that. It's like an. I like that it has that inside joke kind of feel sometimes.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Because then like,
by the
yeah.
way,
Sorry,
the
go
guy
on.
that I'll give you some behind the scenes. The guy that we record with, sometimes we switch it up, but most of the time, the guy that we record with, who is the camera guy, isn't even
Yeah.
out of, doesn't even know what the we're saying.
So you can be dissing him, and this man doesn't even know.
He has no idea what the fuck we're saying. We're speaking how to be in, but he's laughing half the time too. And that's the
That's
thing about
crazy.
it is like it is so relatable. Just like in general, I don't want
Yeah.
to toot my own horn over here, but yeah, no, I really do enjoy those characters, and Ahmed does a great job.
No,
And
definitely.
I'll do him forever.
Ahmed spoke so highly about you that when I was like it made me even more interested to go like research more because I was seeing your videos from prior, but in my head I always have this like fallback moment. I'm like, these guys are not gonna respond, and that was like
No,
months
bro.
ago.
No, bro. Ahmed is he is truly just like this well-oiled machine, organized. Like Habibi, I'm a piece of shit, and I just hang out and I'm funny. Like that's like all
Yeah,
I do in a day. But Ahmed just like spreadsheets, and he's like working like he's the one who organizes, like shooting all these sketches. He is the brains of the operation, man, and truly the funny of the operation too. The way his mind
not
works is out of this
you're
world.
both you're both amazing, man. Trust me. All I want
I
is like
appreciate you, man.
I want you guys to have your own Netflix specials one day, and I'm like, yo, I interviewed those
Inshallah,
guys,
man. One
bro.
day.
It's crazy, inshallah, man. One day. You said something earlier about your content being relatable. What do you want your comedy? What do you want people to take from your comedy? Like when they're going to your comedy and then leaving, like what do you hope people take? Like what message do you want them to take from your comedy, or even from you personally as a person?
I just think I'd like to make comedy for people that I want to be friends with. You know what I mean? I think when people watch me, I hope they think, "Oh, that guy seems chill. I'd like to be his friend." You
Yeah.
know, and that's really just what it's all about.
I honestly feel the same way. I'm not gonna lie to
You
you.
know.
I'm like if you ever come to Toronto, I better get a text saying I'm here so I can come to your show.
And I said it, bro. Any show I got, bro, you're always welcome, dude. You're my guy.
I appreciate it, baby.
We're all brothers. We're all brothers.
Because I don't want to get cheesy. You know what I'm saying?
And we might quite literally might be cousins some way, one way or another.
Somewhere, somehow, we're definitely cousins. Like, if you go do a Palestinian like dialogue or some like Palestinian web, we're gonna find some similarity there, some cousin,
Hundred
some third,
percent.
fourth cousin, relatable. Before I know, we have 15 minutes left, but with every guest, we love to ask questions about like fun questions to get to know you more, and I'm
Okay.
gonna ask a couple of them. So the first question is, we always start off is, what's your favorite meal? If you can eat one food in the world, I mean, like not the world, but one food for your entire life, what is it gonna be? I know you're vegetarian now, so like you gotta think about it really hard.
Yeah. So no pork. Honestly, man, if I could have one meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it'd be like a nice Adabi Noashif breakfast, like
Like,
spread with fresh baked bread, eggs, hummus, then a little bit of like zibda and a little bit of like jelly jam type of concoction, and and
yeah,
and maybe some olives, maybe a couple slices of cheese, maybe a side going, a round of
yeah,
edge rotating, you know,
yeah.
in the background. You know what I mean? And some shy nana, and the warm
But it's your
embrace of
wife,
your family. You know what I mean?
buddy,
So
Sir
that,
John. I'm hearing you talk. I'm like, now I want all my stuff immediately.
yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
my favorite. That's my favorite Adabi meal for sure. But I do love
Hmm.
a nice yellow Thai curry.
Never had it, but I have had butter
Really?
chicken. I'm not.
No, no, no. Tha- no, Thai food. It's a much different type of curry. It's nowhere near
Oh, really?
Indian. Yeah, it's totally different flavor profiles.
Interesting. I gotta go try it. Listen, the scene in Toronto has amazing food, so I think I can find a
Oh, I'm
place that
sure there's
sells Thai
some
curry.
fucking kick-ass Thai places in Toronto, in the
Oh, definitely.
six,
Listen,
in the
in the
six,
six,
in
in
the city.
in the city, exactly. When you come to Toronto, inshallah, I'll legit invite you out for food. I'll
Okay,
invite you out to a proper spot. I got you. Just text me.
that's it.
I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'll take you out some
Yalla.
fire spots. Trust me.
I
My
love it,
next
bro.
question for you. I meant you can hold me to my word. My next question for you is who is your favorite all-time comedian? Someone that never makes you will never fail to make you laugh.
Yeah, probably like Norm Macdonald or Patrice
Norm
O'Neill. Those
Macdonald.
two guys. Yeah, those
Patrice
two
O'Neill.
guys are just very, very hilarious. My kind of humor, just kind of like you kind of got to be in on the joke and kind of no holds barred kind of humor. Like
Yeah,
nothing's off limits.
for
Which
sure.
is the kind of humor that I respect the most and what I grew up listening to and what made me laugh. Yeah, two dead guys.
I've actually never really watched too much of their. I know who they are, but I never really watched too much of their comedy. But I've heard so much about both of them that now I feel like because every comedian has mentioned them. Now I gotta go watch them and their
Yeah, you
comedy.
should go watch like Elephant in the Room or something. That's a good Patrice O'Neill special. That'll get you.
I'll text you about it as
started.
well. I'll
Yep.
text you about it as well. I'm like, yeah, I watched it, man. It was fire.
Text me or sext me, Okhra.
And so, what do you consider like when you're not doing comedy? What do you love to do?
Dude, I play the guitar. I'll play video games. Hang out at the beach. I live over here in Laguna Beach. It rules. But yeah, I just kind of like to unwind.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is who like I'm not actually listening to music, but who are some of the musicians that you love listening to?
Right now, I just found that I listen to this chick named Olivia Dean. She's sick.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I like weird music. Yeah, I like this chick Olivia Dean. She's very nice. She makes me. There's also this boy band. It's like a bunch of hot Punjabi guys, hot Indian guys. I swear to God, they're called Western Estate. They're hot Indian guys, and it's just like, what is going on here?
That's so true.
You listen to their music and then you watch their videos. You're like, whoa! When are they going to cook with their feet? And then, oh, sorry. But yeah, they're cool. Western Estate, really cool. I fuck with their music. And yeah, I listen to a whole like wide variety of genres. Sleep Token, fuck with those guys. I fuck with like Tyler Childress. I really get down, man.
Amazing. Anybody you did.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys?
Go home, watch a Weston Estate music video. Try not to just smile. You just smile how much
Me?
fun these Punjabi guys are. Yeah, go Google it, Weston Estate, and watch a music video. And it's just like 4 Punjabi guys, 1 white guy, and they're all having the time of their lives, just being a boy band, and they're good music too.
I'll check it out. Definitely. Now I gotta let you know about the West Indian band and the comedy special. But before we let you go, if you want to let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can find you, your next show, upcoming shows.
Yeah, well-fed comic on all platforms. 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Skankfest, New Orleans, catching out over there. Yeah, follow me. Send me a message. Tell me you love me.
Everybody, please follow him. Amazing guest. I had an amazing time. I know you guys did. If you're here, a lot of laughs, a lot of casual conversations, amazing questions, and I'll see you next time.